Today I will be talking about the light novel The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. Sheesh, what a long name. I'll be honest with you. I decided to read this light novel because of its anime adaptation. As we all know, due to various limitations, the anime adaptations tend to cut out many details from the source materials. So, as I was watching the anime as a pastime, I ended up reading the light novel version as well. And the result was not that far from my expectations. The light novel was indeed somewhat better than the anime adaptation. Don't misunderstand. I am not saying that either the anime or the light novel is something special. I mean, some readers might even call it generic and edgy, and I am not denying that. In fact, I think that neither the anime nor the light novel is something exceptional. They are subpar at best. But I do have to admit that it is quite the good light novel as a pastime, and it does have some unique features. The story begins with the introduction of the protagonist. He is the world's best assassin, now at the age of retirement. However, he is betrayed by the very organization he belonged to and meets his end. He was a tool for the organization all his life. So, as he faced death, he wished he could be something more than that. However, as the title of the novel suggests, his life doesn't end after death. He is chosen by the goddess of another world and is given a chance to be reincarnated in return for doing a certain job. He is also given a chance to select his skills and the family he will be reincarnated into. It's quite the convenient beginning. So now, we have a very old person's soul in a newborn's body, and his days of acting like a child begins. He thinks of this as an opportunity to experience feelings he never could in his past life. Fast forward, the protagonist is growing up and he is thought to be a genius for acting more mature than his age. He is taught magic by a 10-year-old towards whom he feels some strange attraction. Yeah, we should probably ignore that, right? I mean, that's probably a natural reaction because he is in the body of a 7-year-old, right? Anyways, once he gets access to magic, the protagonist starts to create metals and begins to produce weapons of mass destruction from the modern world. Then, as he chose to be born into a family of assassins, he starts training to be an assassin. And it turns out that he's a genius in the field of assassins. No surprises there. He gains an overpowered eye through surgery. The details of how it's done is not explained. Honestly, this eye alone is enough to be considered a cheat. Okay, that's enough about what he does. Let's talk about his personality. The protagonist starts as an emotionless assassin. So he has all the characteristics of how assassins are generally perceived to be. He is cold-hearted, cautious, and ruthless. But he starts to change as he slowly experiences life in a surprisingly loving family. He makes friends, falls in love, and learns to cherish his family. He is not tense. He is very aware of what people feel about him. And with enough reasons, he accepts their feelings. He connects with them both mentally and physically. So you can be sure that he is not a beta. However, about 3 volumes into the story, it starts to feel as if the protagonist was not a reincarnated soul of a grandpa at all, but only a genius assassin. Some of the things he does and the way he acts sometimes doesn't feel like what an adult would do. I guess it's normal considering that he is trying to assimilate himself into this new world he is living in. So there is some character development. The side characters are not exactly unique. They are just there for the plot. The love interests all fall for the protagonist for pretty good reasons. They all fall into the same old character tropes common in most isekai with slight twists here and there. However, they aren't just mere background characters. They do have some personality. They know what they want and they work hard to attain it. The author does give them sufficient attention through different POVs. The antagonists are also quite generic. They are bad people who are hardwired to destroy the world. There are, however, some of them who have the potential to break through that barrier of cliche character trope. There is also a mystery surrounding their origin and purpose, which hasn't been resolved as of volume 5. The world building is also nothing revolutionary. It's a generic fantasy world with swords and magic. However, it does have one unique factor in that it has mostly human inhabitants. There are demons, but their numbers are, well, numbered. There are kingdoms, there are religious organizations, there are nobles, and there are wars. The nobles are the same as they are portrayed in every isekai. The realm of the gods is still surrounded by mystery. However, there are some subtle clues here and there. Honestly, there are no deep thoughts or some philosophical lessons about life in this novel. It's just a bona fide power fantasy novel. All I could infer was that the author may have some interest towards cross-dressing, as the protagonist dresses up as a woman to seduce a man for an entire arc. I am sure he is aiming towards a few particular demographics by doing that. To sum up, yes, this novel is nothing special, but it's not a total garbage either. It won't test your limits or give you shivers from the cringe. The progression of the plot is just enough to keep things interesting. That's all for the review. If you like my work, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe and healthy till we meet in the next video. Thank you.